Aaron's house was the largest one in the village, next to the orphanage, of course, with an old Japanese mansion look to it. 4 generations. My great-grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, and now I live here, in this house. I wonder how many are to come. Generations, that is, or if there are going to be any at all, Aaron thought to herself silently. Aaron? David questioned, noticing the young woman's stare as she gazed at her home. Oh, it's nothing, David, Aaron replied, looking at David with her usual bright smile. David sighed. You know, you don't have to do that in front of me, or Gwen, was all he said in a serious tone that was rarely heard in action. Do what? Aaron questioned innocently. Come on, you and Gwen and I have all grown up together. Me and Gwen may be 5 years older than you, but even so, we still know each other like the back of our own hands. So you don't have to keep up a fake smile in front of us. We know what you're really feeling underneath that mask of cheer, David clarified, gently. Aaron frowned slightly at the doctor. So what if I'm forcing myself to smile? I'm doing it because I want to. I'm the strongest and most skilled demon slayer in this village, probably the best in all 7 of them. I'm not going to let anyone else die. Not again. So you can stop worrying about me, David. I'm fine, she said firmly as she made her way into the house with Kilala on her shoulder. You're not fine, Aaron, and no matter how hard you try to fight it, you can never forget what happened that day, or who you lost in it, David thought to himself as he followed Aaron into her home. Grandma Jean, Papa, Mom, I'm home. We're home, Aaron called into the house. Oh, welcome back, sweetheart. Oh, David, you're here too. Welcome, said an elderly woman with short red-brown hair, wore delicate glasses, a cream-colored shirt, black pants, shoes, as well as had the same fur and green eyes as her granddaughter, Erin. Next to the old woman was a tall, elderly man with short gray hair. He wore a blue-collared shirt, brown shoes and pants. He had a well-pointed nose and bright blue eyes. Hey there, David. Are you here to check on Katie? Aaron's grandfather asked. I sure am, David replied, his usual cheer returning. That's good. She's in the rose garden out in the backyard, the grandma said. Okay, thanks, Grandma and Papa. We'll go see her now. I want to see Mom before my next mission, Aaron stated. Oh, that's right. How was that other one, dear? Grandma Jean asked her. It was great. I managed to save everyone, as per usual, Aaron teased. You didn't bring Kilala with you? Her grandpa asked as the fire feline ran up to him and his wife, purring as the man himself picked her up and scratched her behind the ears. No. But, Papa, it wasn't like the mission I'm preparing for with my... It's not like this mission I'm preparing for with my whole team, Aaron said quickly. Her grandfather sighed. Okay, just making sure. Well, with that being said, me and your Papa here are going to check on Meredith and her team, Grandma Jean said as she and her husband began to walk out the door. Okay, but she prefers to be called Arid, their granddaughter clarified as her grandparents waved goodbye and closed the sliding door in their wake. Well, shall we check on your mother now? The doctor asked. Yeah, let's go, Aaron proclaimed as she picked up Kilala, who rushed back to her and set down her hirai coats and headed out the back door on the other side of the house. Aaron and her mother Katie looked very similar. They both had long, dark, chestnut-brown hair with bangs, fair Irish skin, and were both tall and lean. The only difference between them were Aaron's mother had a few gray hairs on her head. She also had Aaron's grandfather's bright blue eyes. While Aaron could walk, on the other hand, her mother was in a wheelchair. Her mother was currently watering the blooming white roses that were around the large statue of Kilala and her grandmother, Catherine Rena. Kilala meowed happily upon seeing the woman in the wheelchair and ran over to her and jumped into her lap, nuzzling her head by her side. Hello, Kilala, Katie cooed as she noticed Aaron and David approaching her. Air Bear! She exclaimed, holding her arms out to hug her daughter, who happily embraced her. Hi, Mom. David came to check on you, Aaron said after she finished hugging her mother. Okay, but first tell me how your mission went, Katie insisted with a bright smile. Oh, it was just a giant tarantula. It was nothing I couldn't handle by myself, the daughter replied. The mother frowned. You mean you didn't bring your team with you again? She asked, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, but nothing I couldn't handle alone, Aaron stated. You didn't even bring Kilala? Her mother questioned further, making her daughter sigh. Mom, it's fine. It's not like I'm still in training. I'm a professional demon slayer. I can handle anything like this on my own, she proclaimed. Katie sighed. David, can you give us a minute to talk, please? The mother requested. Yeah, sure. Call me when you're ready for your checkup, Miss Katie, David said as he walked back to the house. What did I do now? Erin questioned as the doctor left. Her mother shook her head and sighed again. Erin, you've become a great demon slayer, the best one in our village. No question about it. And I couldn't be prouder. She trailed off, making Erin raise an eyebrow, curious as to where her mother was going with this conversation. But, the daughter questioned. Her mother began to pet Kilala in her lap again as she continued. But I worry for you. You're so much like I was before this wheelchair. Like you, I was determined to perfect my slayer skills to the best of my ability and protect all the people I could find. I became obsessed with my duty as a slayer, and after that horrible day where we lost part of our family all those years ago, my obsession became worse. It became so bad that I became careless, and as you know, it led to me almost losing my life. Katie trailed off as she patted the side of her wheelchair. Erin frowned at the painful memories coming to the front of her mind as her mother spoke, but she immediately pushed them back to the back of her head. It won't happen to me, Mom. I will protect this world. It is my duty to do so as a warrior. Her mother shook her head at her daughter's words. Erin, listen to me. Yes, you are a warrior, but you are also a woman, a young woman. You have many opportunities in life. I don't want you to be only be a demon slayer. I want you to explore this world in its crazy yet amazing opportunities and find something worth fighting for, other than duty, Katie explained. Erin gave her mother a skeptical stare. Why would that matter? I fight for justice. What for the betterment of the world? What more is there to fight for? She asked. The mother only shook her head. Never mind, sweetheart. You must be tired from today. Why don't you go rest up for tomorrow? She said, patting Erin's hand. Okay, sure. I'll tell David you're ready to see him, too, the young woman said as she walked back into the house. Katie sighed and watched her daughter enter the house and turning her attention to the little cat in her lap. Kilala, I can't thank you enough for staying by her side all 19 years of her life. Just like you've always been there for me, my dad, and my grandmother. I don't know what we'd do without you in our family. So thank you, she said to the fire feline as she purred in her lap while Katie stroked her fur. Hi, Miss Katie. Are you ready to get started on your checkup? David asked as he approached the mother from the house. David, I'm so worried about Erin, was all she said. The doctor's actions became slower. You too, huh? He questioned as he placed his doctor's bag on the grass and began to unpack it. I'm worried she'll end up careless. Not to mention she's already guarded her heart so well that she shuts down any man that comes her way. Aside from you, of course, but that's different because you and Gwen are together. And you three grew up side by side, Katie started, but the doctor cut her off. It's okay. To tell you the truth, me and Gwen are worried too. But try not to worry. Erin's a very capable person. She'll find her way eventually. Right, Kilala? David cooed as she scratched the fire feline behind the ears, making her purr. I'm just glad she has you, Gwen, and her team, especially since... Katie trailed off, but stopped, not wanting to talk about those painful memories she had across her mind. David smiled sadly. Do you want to start your checkup? He asked gently, making the woman nod and say nothing else.